Welcome to No Time for Burnout. My name's Sophie Anderson. I'm a burnout prevention specialist. I'm also a speaker, an ICF certified coach, and an author. I am writing the book No Time for Burnout, which should be released in the next year. Today, I want to talk about how we can prevent burnout when we have a really busy and demanding life. A lot of you have very complex roles, very demanding roles, take pride in your work being really well done. You genuinely love going to work. It's part of your identity, but you don't want to burn out, right? You don't have time to burn out. And if you're anything like my clients and like myself, even when you're sick with a cold, you're beating up on yourself because, oh my gosh, what a waste of time. And it's so frustrating. And you wish you could pin down the moment where you got sick and go back and not get sick. The goal of my podcast is to help you never get there. If you've been there before and you've recovered and now you're looking at preventing it happening again, welcome. Today, I'm going to be presenting 5 shifts. I would love all of you to let me know which one resonated the most, which one you're going to try. And equally, if you have tried one of them before and you think it doesn't work, let me know. I would love to hear from you and I can give you an alternative shift to try. Most women have literally no time for burnout, but we also have no time to prevent it. That's why I created this episode, because those swaps don't take extra time. You literally shift something you already do for something healthier or something that's aligned with burnout prevention, essentially, which means it'll restore the demands and the resources. So it'll mean you'll have a bit less to do or a bit less pressure on your shoulders, and you'll have more resources, which includes more time, more energy, essentially, and more resilience as well. When I talk about resilience, I talk about being flexible. When things happen, we're flexible, we adapt to it, and also we have a toolbox of things that we can do. When we're resilient, we rarely get stuck. We have resources to get out of trouble. This is the goal of this podcast. When we're always in doing mode, we'll say, I have no time, right? You have a friend who texts you and you don't even have time to reply. I get it. And the other thing is you'll say, I don't have time for a break and things like that. Today, it's about embracing this, I have no time, and just swapping some of the things we already do anyway. I'm tempted to tell you, well, take the breaks anyway. But this is not what I'm doing in this episode, because I know that your to-do is real and it feels like you can't stop. And I totally respect that. Small changes compound. Small changes create a positive ripple effect. Those changes are particularly helpful when we're in the activation and overfunctioning zone, which is when we're starting to feel the imbalance between the demands and the resources. We're not quite ourselves. We're more reactive. And overfunctioning, we're always working. There's literally no time for anything. So you'll see, instead of thinking, oh, it's just a busy patch and I have to keep going like this, we're like, it's a busy patch, but I'm also going to prevent burnout. Because the real problem is, even once the project's out, we all know there's going to be another one. And once one kid is better, the other kid gets sick. Look, I don't want to be negative, but this is often reality. The main idea of the swaps are to swap what depletes us for things that replenish us. So here we go. The first one is the first thing you do when you wake up. If it's scrolling on your phone, checking your emails and all those kind of things, this is external world stealing your personal energy. I invite you to experiment with not touching your phone for at least the first 20 to 30 minutes of your day and start with energy-giving activities. If your kids wake you up, I invite you to put your alarm maybe 20, 30 minutes before the time they wake up, even if it'll feel early, maybe start in increments. That's what I did to start getting up earlier. I started 10 minutes earlier, 15, 20, 25. So go in increments, get up a little bit earlier and find something for you to do. It can be having a stretch. You can do a meditation. I've got a couple of 5-minute meditations on Insight Timer. They include a little sway, a little stretch, and people really enjoy them. You can start prepping healthy snacks. You can maybe pull an oracle card. You can set an intention for your day. Or maybe this is where you're going to write your priorities list or do your gratitude journaling. Use that time for self-centering yourself. When we start our days like that, I have never heard someone who said it doesn't make a difference. That's the first swap. The second swap is the coping strategies. Often when we're in overfunctioning zone or activation zone and we have a lot to do, we'll keep on top of things with caffeine or stimulants. Maybe it's tea, or it can be a Red Bull or anything like that. And at night, when it's time to relax, we just want to switch off. And so we turn to the glass of wine, typically. I invite you to try and find nervous system friendly options. The thing that I found as I cut down on coffee, and a quick note, if it's not affecting you, don't change it. If you're like, I only have 2 coffees a day, what's she talking about? Just take what you need from this episode, obviously. But some nervous system friendly alternatives that actually give me energy during the day are some herbal teas I find really good. Like peppermint tea really wakes me up. I even cool down with ice cubes, really nice. And the other thing is soda water. There's something about the sparkling in the soda water, and then I add citrus or mint. I'm lucky because I'm not a green thumb, but I have a thriving herb garden here. So I have a lot of herbs and I just pop them in. Make yourself a mocktail in the evening. For those of you who like the ritual of sitting down and you say, I need a drink, make yourself a drink. Just make it non-alcoholic. There's non-alcoholic wines, so not as good, or a mocktail instead of a cocktail, or an alcohol-free beer or wine. And also there's obviously wind down beverages, magnesium beverages, and there's some range of cacao beverages that help you calm down your nervous system. So these are easy swaps as well. The third swap is because you want to switch off, you're likely to, like most of my clients, either go to the couch, scroll on your phone, and have the TV on. And this is where you're like completely out of your world. Though, and again, if it doesn't affect you, go for it. That's your self-care. It works for you. But if you know deep down that you're not happy with it, find another way to switch off. Things that are known to provide genuine rest to the body and the mind and our emotions are things like doing stretches or yoga. The app Down Dog is so good, and there's Yoga with Adriene on YouTube that I've watched a lot as well. You can call a friend. We're like, I never have time to call my friends. I find time in the evenings. It's nice after the kids are in bed. No one's really doing anything. We're all trying to switch off. Even if I don't have energy, it makes me feel so good to catch up with them. Going for a walk if it's safe to do so, reading a book, although I know when I'm tired, I'm not into books, but maybe an audio book will work for you, listening to a podcast that you've been meaning to listen to, as a motivation talk maybe. And another thing that I do sometimes here is we make a little fire outside, and it sort of recreates the camping mood. Now, if you don't have energy, don't listen to me because you probably don't feel like starting a fire outside. The fourth swap is on your commute to and from work. This is the time where a lot of people will listen to podcasts, and if it serves you and it helps you, go for it. Though if it's more mental energy and it adds to your mental load, I invite you to choose a sound-free commute, maybe some relaxing music. Maybe you want to do a mindful transition. What worked well today? What didn't work well? How could I improve my day tomorrow? You can plan your evening. What activity am I going to do tonight to really switch off? I also have a meditation track, which is eyes open, so you can do it when you're driving. It's a track on transitioning from work to life. You can access it on Insight Timer, but also on Spotify. If you want to do a mindful drive or mindful transition, you can tune into your senses, like feeling your hands on the wheel. You can take deep breaths and just observing around you without thinking or judging, just looking, just existing, essentially. The fifth swap is around working more. So we're working weekends, we're working evenings to catch up. We want to stay afloat. What I invite you to swap this for is a time to recover and to reflect. This is what Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, calls sharpening the saw. So we're not doing more work because it doesn't create more output. We're making time to reflect on our day, to prepare for the next day, to take genuine breaks, to sharpen our mental saw, essentially, and our body as well. Athletes do that really well. They're not always training, always performing. They need to take breaks. Otherwise, they can't perform. Why don't we do that to ourselves when we work? In recap, the 5 swaps are your morning scroll for something that's your own and that doesn't drain your energy. The second one is the stimulants and the alcohol in the evening. The third swap is the mindless TV or scrolling in the evening, replacing with a healthier way to switch off and a way that serves you better if needed. The fourth swap is your commute. What are you going to do to transition from life to work and from work to life? And the fifth swap is changing between working all the time or working every time you have time to work for planning and reflecting. When we own a business, we say I'm working on the business instead of working in the business. So working on yourself rather than in your role, essentially, if you're not self-employed. Small shifts compound. Remember that. Those small shifts, they are not insignificant. They will create a ripple effect because you'll be proud of yourself. They'll give you more energy. If you're more rested, you're more likely to eat better and all those kind of things. And you will see it straight away. It'll have a big ripple effect on your health, your energy, your focus. So it's not about doing more to stay on top of things. It's about doing things differently in a way that serves you. I hope that was helpful. Looking forward to your comments.